nice to meet you, Mariana.
Nice to meet you too.
Do you think Dr. Javada even wanted to be a doctor or even had time in the thought process before going to college at 13 to decide if she wanted to be a doctor or not? Or was she pushed in it just like it seemed as if the baseball kid is being pushed into baseball?
Yeah, that storyline is so meaningful to me because I do feel like it's that situation. It's that, this is what her parents wanted. She was too young to know what she wanted. And even with kids who graduate at a normal time, when you graduate at 17, 18, and then you're like, pick what you want to do and get it right the first time, that's so intense. And she did that at 12, 13. So of course, I think she's sort of been on this path and her parents wanted it. And then also she had a natural aptitude for it. And it's nice to be good at things. But I think that, when we talked about this with the team before we started shooting of like maybe Javadi doesn't want to be a doctor and maybe she's already decided to quit and then this happens. And then what does that do to you just psychologically? I'm really excited to explore that more.
Yes. Why do you think in this episode that is out now that she finally stood up to her mom during the very intense right after the shooting at Pitt Fest?
I think there's so much going on, but I actually think a lot of it is also to do with McKay. I think that McKay being a mentor to Javadi, and yes, McKay kind of loses at her in early on with Sherry, but then subsequently with the baseball kid is quite gentle with Javadi and understanding of why Javadi's reacting in the ways she's reacting, and in a way that Javadi hasn't even given herself. Like Javadi's like, I don't know why I did that, and I think she's genuine. I don't know why I blew up at that guy. Like I can't regulate right now. And McKay understanding and giving her space is like so beautiful to me. And I think maybe McKay is the first person to do that for her. And so I think experiencing this gentle mentorship and this understanding and this empathy has sort of made Javadi go, this is not right now, mum. Like, I'm doing a chest tube, I'm saving a life. There's so much going on. There's a million other patients you could be with right now. Um, I think it's really important. I think good mentorship and good role models are everything to a young person.
Yes. In earlier in the shift, earlier in the episode, she was a bit prejudiced to Mateo, the nurse. Like she didn't really know what to call him and whatnot. Do you think it was kind of how her mom has treated nurses in the past that because Dr. McKay is just like, yeah, you can just call him Mateo. Do you think it was how she kind of saw her mom treat nurses and other people in the past? Because we're seeing that her mom is not the most professional or kind to other people as well.
Yeah, I think that moment for Javadi is very much about how much she has a crush on Mateo and how she can't say his name.
Yeah.
It's whatever. I don't even know that guy. Like whatever. Like I think she's realized how obvious she's been and is trying to
Yeah, yes.
move on. But yeah, I think it's an interesting thing, like growing up in a hospital in that way. And her dad's an endocrinologist, and so he does a 9 to 5, and there's an off. Like I think she's grown up around hospitals and around this dynamic, and is going to learn her own way of being a doctor and her own way of existing in this space. And I'm really excited for that. Yeah.
Why do you think she decided to be in emergency medicine?
Well, she hasn't yet, right? And I think
Oh,
I'm really
yes.
interesting thing because she's doing her rotation, and I'm excited to see what she does pick and why. And I hope that she picks emergency medicine, which I think she should do because it means Shabana gets to come back for more seasons. Um,
Yeah.
I I hope that she does it with a passion and because she's sure about it, and I'm really excited to see that play out.
Yeah. It's interesting though, because in this episode, which ironically I think is also the shortest episode this season so far, that when she is put into pink, which is like the second highest level, she has this look of panic on her face, but she is actually pretty cool under pressure and she's able to think really creatively and she's actually probably the calmest she's been so far on the show, ironically. Why do you think she is able to be cool under pressure and think in such intricate
I think we did a lot of thinking about this because I think there's something really fascinating about what this level of panic crisis does to your body. Like you go into fight or flight, you go into like you have to just get the job done. And I think for me, Javadi is really smart and she's also really impressive and she's not afraid to fail. And so, and you see that time and time again. She keeps trying with Mateo. She keeps trying with Santos even. She keeps like, and even with the blood and her issues with blood and that's sort of been all day. But in this situation, she knows there's no time or space for that. And she just gets to work in a way that I think is really important and really impressive. And I think that it's really obvious with Javadi that she's doing that, but I think every character's doing that. Every character's putting aside, Robby's putting aside, where's Jake? And getting the job done. Like McKay's putting aside, my son is in the other room and getting the job done. And I think that and there's all the stories of, you don't know what Princess and Perla are going through. You don't know what all these other characters are going through, but everybody in a situation like this is going through something like that and is putting it aside and saving these lives. And I think that I hope that these episodes give people a new respect and like awareness of what it is to be a healthcare worker in a crisis. And I hope it changes the way we interact with those healthcare workers. Yeah.
Yes. There's this idea that's been brought up in like the last few episodes of what each person's special sauce is. Do you think her being able to work under pressure is her special sauce? Or what do you think is Dr. Javadi's special sauce?
This is a cool question. I like it. I think she's such a creative lateral thinker. She's a problem solver in a way that I think is really impressive. She's not just by the book doing and I think you see that with the diazepam in episode 8 with the dilaudid, the Crohn's patient, and then you see it again with the tubes and the bags in episode 12. I think she's so smart. And she doesn't she doesn't get locked into a way of thinking. She's always on the outside being more creative. And I think that is what you want from a doctor, especially, when we're exploring, and we do kind of explore it in this season, biases and, when you've got there's people with, heart attacks present differently in different people and skin conditions present differently in different people of different skin tones and all of this stuff. I think Javadi's a really great doctor in that way, that she's never going to be like, it's probably this. She's not going to miss something obvious,
Yeah. Like I liked how she said like a tube is a tube, a bag is a bag. And the mom was just like, I only like this brand of tubes. I can't believe they did an order from here. Like she's not used to anything, so she's open to anything, which
Yeah.
I think is super cool. I know you guys went to doctor school and you had like a lot of medical training. What was your favorite thing that you learned?
Oh, it was so fun. There was so much cool stuff. We had ultrasound machines and we had these syringes and we had these like pads, these silicone sort of pads. They were really big and they had pockets of fake blood in them. And you had to ultrasound on the silicone pad and find the holes and go in and take blood out. And that I remember being like, this is like a video game. This is so exciting. But doctor school, it was amazing. We learned to like intubate, find the cords with the cameras and we learned to do chest tubes. We used like cardboard boxes covered in silicone to like cut into them and put a tube in and feel what it would feel like it was crazy. It was so cool.
Yes. What do you hope for your character at? Because the season is, and I would guess season 2 is like this. I don't know, but is one shift. What do you hope for her at the end of this shift, other than sleep and hopefully a shower and food?
Oh, I hope at the end of season 1, we won't see it, but in between seasons, I hope she learns who she is and learns what she wants. I think we see it in this episode where she doesn't know what she needs. She doesn't know why she's behaving how she's behaving. You know what I mean? Like there's a level of like self-awareness that she's never really done because she's been blindly following a path that was set out for her. And so I hope that she just takes stock and then becomes a better doctor.
Yeah, I hope she has a Rumspringa in the sense of that she gets out of Pittsburgh and tries different things. And if she does become a doctor, I think she'd be an amazing doctor. But if she doesn't want to become a doctor, that's okay too. I think she is so smart that she can do whatever she wants to do, but I want her to do what she wants to do. because I think it could come to a head if she doesn't do what she wants to do.
Yeah. And I think it's important. I think it's important to find your path. Yeah.
Yes, awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. Congrats on the season and season 2, which you will be in. I've already spoken to existence.
I'm so excited for season 2. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much. All right, bye.